Hello guys, my name is Anna and I'm from Ukraine, and I vlog daily to keep you updated on the situation in my country during this awful war with Russia, but we will definitely win. And today it is very common for Ukrainians to discuss the probability of the next serious missile attack on our cities that can cause problems in electricity, in water supply, gas supply, or as it was recently mentioned on many media, maybe the bank system of Ukraine. All people know this will definitely happen. And just as you think about rain, snow, blizzards, I don't know, humidity or frost, Ukrainians also think about another forecast. When will the next missile attack be and what will be its consequences? When we have this week, 10 days between massive missile attacks that orcs target on Ukrainian electrical infrastructure, for example, during this week, or 10 days we try to prepare ourselves, and in my vlogs you can see shopping, I don't know, changes that happen in the way universities, hospitals, schools work. But we are like 100% confident that something really bad will happen either on the 1st on December or 2 days later or 3 days before. But anyway, it is 100% that something orcs will do, and all the world knows that. Intelligence services, politicians, and even Ukrainians in their conversations on the streets, markets, at schools, at hospitals, everywhere, just only think, what will that next thing be? How will it influence our everyday life? And of course that we have to be strong, we have to withstand, we have to survive this winter, because maybe then we will finally see the victory. It goes without saying that we have already won this war. We understand that Russia lost this war on the very first days, when its blitzkrieg failed, when allies started gathering around Ukraine, and Ukraine did not want to fall. So for all civilized world, it's obvious that this war is already won, and Ukraine has so many friends, has so many new directions to start rebuilding. But at the moment, this war continues. At the moment, daily, hundreds of Ukrainians die. Ukrainian armed forces try to take back our territories, and many of our counter-offensive operations are successful. But it is all very, very difficult, and it is all with lots of deaths, problems, depressions, and it is very traumatic and tragic experience. And we don't know how long will it last, and we know that it will continue. So why do we have this week or 10 days of break? Because Russia has problems with weapons, but still it takes a week or something for it to prepare a new portion of missiles that the country is ready to target on Ukrainians, on Ukrainian civilians, thus continuing genocide and terrorism. So within a week, approximately, it takes 1 week to make a missile. And of course, it's super expensive, and they have a couple of places where they can make these missiles. Also, they cooperate with countries like Iran, Syria, North Korea. They get China, perhaps. They get the elements that they need for construction. But then in a week or 10 days, they will be ready to target us again with 70, 100 missiles or whatever. Ukrainian air defense works well, but still they have dozens of these missiles to target on Ukraine. And here is a question: why aren't sanctions working? The main task of all sanctions was to stop Russia from continuing this war, to stop Russia from escalation. And now look at Ukraine. Our infrastructure is in a very bad condition. We have days without electricity, without heat, and it is just the end of November, not even the start of Ukrainian winter, which begins in December. And we realize that this cold electricity connection, maybe money terrorism, will continue. And there is nothing that we can do. And we have just to be patient, to be strong, to supply ourselves and try to survive. But they will continue hitting us with missiles. Then it looks like, I know, you will tell me that poor economic conditions, they will feel it in 10 years, but these are Russians. They've got used to live without toilets. They've got used to live without electricity. They don't even need war to have all of that infrastructure destroyed. Look at their streets, look at their people, the way they are dressed, look at their shops, television. Everything looks like 20, 50 years back in Europe. But somehow they start saving money. They are not that much into Zara, I don't know, Nutella, Mac Coffee, or what are the other brands that left Russia. But they spend money on weapons, on their military supply. And we have like 9 months of sanctions, and they are still able to make missiles to supply themselves with the weapons. And it looks like the world is waiting. When will they lose this opportunity? But while we are waiting, thousands of Ukrainians die. And the world is in danger, not only poor Ukraine, because they can hit a nuclear power station, they can bomb us with a nuclear bomb. We don't know how this escalation will develop, but we know it will. And we see that in the West, many people are afraid of this escalation. But guys, this does not depend on your behavior or Ukrainian behavior. It only depends on the diagnosis of the Russian society and, of course, Putin and his regime. And like, you don't have to fight for Crimea, or you don't have to target military objects on the territory of Russia that will attack you. You don't have to attack them, but they can attack you. And of course, we are very grateful for that support, but it feels like a little bit the situation lacks understanding. We have to stop being afraid of Russia. That's the only way. Because despite sanctions, despite various diplomatic scandals and problems that they have, they are able to hit hundreds of missiles on Ukraine per month. They are able to kill thousands of lives. They are able to deport children. They are able to do whatever they want. The main task was not just like to make Russia feel bad, or to make Russia feel look bad in media, or to dissatisfy Putin, but to stop their military actions. And it doesn't work like that, because they continue constructing missiles, they continue hitting missiles, and believe me, they will target Ukraine with these missiles this week or next week, and you will see me in darkness. Hopefully you will see me in darkness. I'm an optimist. But we have to understand that this is not a moment to stop, because this policy of exhaustion, let's wait until Russia will exhaust itself. Russia is the largest country in the world. It can take years to exhaust it. Plus, take into account that they are crazy. They don't need much. They are not used to normal living, I mean normal standards of living, so they can do in bad conditions for a very long period of time. And it looks like, to a very great extent, the sanctions do not work properly. Poor, rich oligarchs do not influence Putin, that they've lost their businesses. And moreover, Russians are also able to find some holes in this legislation, and many businesses were re-registered and continue working just as factories that produce Russian weapons to kill Ukrainian souls. And that is a serious problem. A serious problem is that millions of Ukrainians, together with, I don't know, horoscopes and weather forecasts, read forecasts of missile attacks, and in the majority of cases they are correct, and they predict that many more to come. Please remember about that, and please speak to your people, speak to your politicians. Understand how dangerous this situation is, because the longer Putin is the president, the longer this war continues, the more global dangers we can face. And I know that my subscribers are people who speak about Ukraine, who stand with Ukraine and global normalcy. Please share this video and subscribe to my channel, because the world needs to know more about Ukraine and our victory that is soon to come. I'm confident. Thank you for buying me coffees. Thank you for becoming my patrons. Slava Ukraini!